When the three best players in the Lakers have played together, it's a small sample size, but including last night, when Russ is on the court, AD is on the court, LeBron is on the court, this team is 11-11.
You stink.
They have not done enough to address their roster deficiencies this offseason. So for a team success, I think it's a play-in berth, and I think they get the 7 or 8 seed. But I look at the Lakers season this way. I look at the Lakers season that we should treat this season as a celebration of LeBron's individual greatness.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
JJ Reddick last year was hyped up as the best up-and-coming NBA analyst. He was going to change sports media, and most importantly, he was seen as a guy who's going to keep it real and give you the uncut facts. That was the overall narrative at the time in the moment that I never bought for 1 second. As JJ obviously is a smart dude who's quick on his feet, but the one nagging thing I hate about him is that when it comes to current day players, he refuses to criticize them or critique their games. And as an NBA fan, listening to that intro was one of the worst takes I've ever seen. I don't care if you're a Heat fan, a Celtics fan, especially a Lakers fan, the last thing you want to hear is that winning doesn't matter and one season is about one player and his overall stats. That is about the worst mentality you can have as an NBA analyst, and telling fans they should forget winning and focus on stats is not going to fly. And isn't it really odd how JJ and a lot of NBA media members, when they look at this Lakers team, it's LeBron James and everyone else. And looking at someone like Westbrook, undoubtedly he's the scapegoat and the one guy to blame. And while Russ isn't perfect and he's a flawed player, you have to remember LeBron James, as well as Rob Pelinka, signed off on getting Russ in the purple and gold. And for comparison's sake, looking at Reddick, compare him with someone like Charles Barkley, by far the best analyst in the game. As Charles, he'll tell you how it is regardless of feelings, personal agenda, or even relationships. If you're playing sorry, he's going to tell you. If you're stat padding, he's going to call you out. And if you're not playing winning basketball, he's going to tell you to your face. Charles Barkley isn't always right, but when he says things or has takes, you know 100% he believes them and is coming from a place of objectivity. My point being, this quote-unquote new media is suspect and complete garbage. And if Lakers fans are listening, let me ask you guys a couple of things. If right now in the moment, I could guarantee you a championship, but LeBron only averaged 15 points, would you take that over LeBron averaging 30 and missing the playoffs? Of course you take LeBron averaging 15 and win the chip, because obviously winning matters and getting rings is more important than stats. And I do want to make it crystal clear, we're talking about Lakers fans and fans of a franchise that have won 17 championships. This is not the OKC Thunder, the Sacramento Queens, or the Charlotte Hornets. And less than 2 weeks ago, I had a very strong feeling people like Nick Wright, Colin Cowherd, even Kendrick Perkins were going to have takes very similar to JJ, as those guys are LeBron James superfans and will do quite literally anything to boost LeBron up and downplay his teammates and their success or lack thereof. What I didn't anticipate was that happening only 3 games into the season. And one thing I do find pretty interesting, looking at the overall team dynamic when it comes to LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and especially Westbrook, there is one guy who is blamed above all else. It's his fault, he's the reason, and you have to blame him and critique him. When it comes to the NBA media, Russell Westbrook is open season, and you can have any take criticizing him. But when it comes to LeBron James, for some odd reason, he's off limits with this team losing and getting flat out embarrassed. I'm telling you guys how it is, the narrative for the Lakers has been set and it's in stone. Russell Westbrook, he's the problem, and LeBron James and AD deserve 0% of the blame, and they're off limits for criticizing. And looking back at Reddick's comments, talking about LeBron's individual greatness, now this year should be all about him, How do you think head coach Darvin Ham in his first year feels about that? Is he more concerned about LeBron James passing Kareem or winning games and saving his job? That is the major disconnect for media fanboys and fans or coaches of actual teams. For my Boston Celtics, if Tatum drops 40 and we lose, is any fan happy compared if he scores 10 and we win? I would take him scoring 10 and winning 7 days a week, 365. Because once again, for the 1000th time, winning matters and stats are secondary. And one thing NBA fans, including myself, always love to do is compare players as well as eras. And when it comes to LeBron James, for the past decade, he's been compared to Michael Jordan and measured up at every turn. So with that in mind, if LeBron's Lakers once again have a subpar season with multiple Hall of Famers, do you think that has an effect on his legacy and dampens him passing Kareem? I still think him passing Kareem individually, it's a big time accomplishment, but for Lakers fans, once again, they're ruthless and all they care about is winning championships. And as long as LeBron isn't doing that, I don't think they really care about him passing Kareem and racking up the stats. And basically for the past 2 years, LA, they've been a laughingstock, and last year only winning 33 games. If LeBron goes out like this in his career, how is he passing Jordan or changing any fans' minds about his place in NBA history? For me personally, if he got his 5th championship, that is way more important than passing Kareem and racking up all-time stats. And if somehow he could get 6 championship rings, at that point, him and Jordan are neck and neck, and the overall debate is officially on. And one thing I do want to address is an argument I hear all the time about Jordan on the Wizards. And that's that in Washington, much like LeBron in LA, he was not winning games at age 38. Which at face value is true and is a very fair point. But looking at Jordan's Wizards team, when he joined them the year prior, they only won 19 games, and with him went 30-30, which is on pace for 41 wins, an improvement by 22 games. Compare that Washington roster to LeBron's in LA, and it's night and day. And once again, LeBron James, with multiple Hall of Famers and veterans, has gone 25-34 in his past 2 years in Los Angeles. Yes, he is 38, still playing fantastic, but I can't imagine this is how LeBron James wanted to go out and end his career. Now, one more side tangent I do want to go on. Looking at LeBron and Westbrook, one thing I was always told with LeBron James, he elevates his teammates as well as teams in general. And for the past 2 years, I haven't seen that in the slightest. Looking at Westbrook, the role players, the shooters, the big men off the bench, I don't see LeBron James at this point elevating his team and making them better. And contrary to what ESPN believes, LeBron 100% is responsible for this team and his situation in Los Angeles. And when his career is finally over, playing 21, 22, even 23 seasons, he's going to look back on that Westbrook deal that he signed off on and easily put that as the biggest mistake he ever made that costed him at least 1 championship and multiple deep playoff runs. And the last thing I do want to say, when it comes to ESPN and someone like Reddick, it's very clear to see they have lost the meaning of what it means to be an NBA analyst. Of course, everyone has bias, but going out of your way to defend current players, contort narratives, is pretty pathetic and downright laughable. And once again, comparing LeBron versus Westbrook, contrast the hate Westbrook gets compared to LeBron, who built the team, and it's starkly different. And for JJ, a former player, it is pretty disgraceful. He'll throw out an entire Lakers season for stats and individual accomplishments. As you guys can tell, he's not my favorite analyst, and a lot of his comments about past eras have definitely pissed me off. And I want to reiterate, someone like Charles Barkley, who tells it how it is, no matter how good or how bad, that guy is a real analyst and someone you can respect. And that's why Chuck, till this day, is the best analyst and personality in all of sports. As always, thank you guys for watching, hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time.